Tracy, you might move him to a different room.
I don't know.
I just muted Tracy, so when she's ready to talk, then we'll put her back on. Otherwise, I'm gonna laugh. Who's this?
Who else was supposed to be on this call?
John.
John?
Oh, okay.
John is never late. He must be having a problem.
Yes, because Cindy's up working right now, and the baby, and
Well, we're going to be broadcasting here shortly, so.
Right. Oh, there's Jane.
You want me to call John and see if he's having a problem?
I just sent him a message.
Okay.
I'm adding somebody. I'm not sure who it is. Hi, who just came on?
Well, Todd is here. I've been on a couple minutes.
Okay, I see Todd. Who just came on? I see Jane, and then someone just connecting to audio right now. I hate, so that makes me nervous.
Hello?
Hi, John.
Yes.
Okay.
here he is.
You?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you the? It says I hate 000.
Yeah,
Radio?
yeah, it's my son's computer email. So
Okay.
yeah, I tried to get on. Oh, I could see Carolyn.
Hi, John.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And I see Todd is on. Huh?
Okay, Carolyn. You know you have video. Did you want your?
Am I okay? Well, I can cut the video off if I'm going to be the only one. I mean, that's not a problem.
Oh, now what happened?
I turned the video off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, I guess you have to keep the video on then.
Carolyn, if you go to the top of your box on there, there should be a little three dots. Or no, wait a minute, I'm sorry. If you go down to the very bottom where it says start video,
Yes.
just click that and that should shut your video off.
Okay, so we're not doing video. That was my question.
No.
Okay.
And then Stacy, if you hit yours to start video, we should get back to the regular screen.
Yeah, but I don't have capability of.
It doesn't
video.
matter. Just hit start video and see if it goes back to the.
It doesn't. It just says unable to detect. Yeah. That's how we did it before. You had to make yours video.
Yeah, that's weird. We gotta figure that one out. Okay, so we're streaming. We're ready when you guys are.
Okay.
I figured out the audio on the computer. I'm in.
Okay, good.
I didn't catch that.
Who's that?
Is Kim on?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Are we ready? Everybody's ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I will call to order the Friday, April 10th Finance and Personnel Committee at 8 o'clock. Well, I can't tell what time it is, 8:10, 8:04 a.m. Madam Chair, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Foglio.
Is the recording on?
Yes.
Okay.
Mrs. Foglio. Mrs.
Here.
Young is not here. Mr. Roscovic.
Here.
We have Mr. Timonier.
Here.
Ms. Welch.
Here.
We have Mrs. Sheldon.
Here.
Mr. Shimko.
Here.
Chief Gruber.
Here.
Ms. Haynes.
I'm here.
We're all set.
Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody on this Good Friday. Wish I could see you all, but can't do that. Okay, first off, we'll start off with Ms. Welsh and the Finance Director's report.
Well, I'm just going to jump right into the reason we're having this meeting, and the city manager and I have had a lot of discussion, and there's a lot of concerns with this COVID-19 and how it's going to affect us for the future. He's had a lot of multiple conversations with with the governor, having basically telling all of us that we needed to start looking at cutting our budgets by 20%. And like the gas tax, Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, Sherrod Brown said it was down like 40%. So that being said, I started looking at the numbers and trying to figure out what this looks like. So just looking at the general fund, I mean, because that's what funds the majority of our employees without cutting salaries and wages. Looked at how much revenue we budgeted, and I took the lines that had like the property taxes and the city income tax, things that I knew we were gonna take a hit on with all of this. And 20% of those numbers is $1.75 million. And that's not even taking into consideration the whole, all the lines in the revenue, on the revenue side. So once I had that, I looked at the expense side in the general fund, and without touching salaries, wages, and benefits, I could only come up with on the lines that I could decrease by 20%, which is like operating, professional services, training. I could only come up with $200,000. So that being said, we need to make a decision as far as how we want to proceed. July, August is going to be the big determinant as far as whether or not, I mean, I don't know that we want to even wait that long. I'm afraid that we're not going to get enough to sustain us for the rest of the year. So I Jim, you can, pipe in any time. I'm just really concerned at this point now, especially when the governor is telling us to cut our budgets by 20%. I don't even know if we cut employees enough we wouldn't be able to come up with that kind of money. We don't have enough. We're so short on employees now. So, I mean, there's been, I talked to Carolyn a little bit about it. She sent me some ideas. We've talked about furlough days. We've talked about, not having any overtime whatsoever, cutting the overtime, not having, doing something, not having the minimum manning. I guess I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know. I'm very concerned that this is going to throw us into fiscal emergency. It's hard for me to, does anybody have anything to say? I mean, I'm really having a.
Yeah. So I'll chime in here a little bit. So that's, a couple of weeks ago, it was the governor that said, 20% is probably a good idea. We're starting to get some of the data coming in from unemployment. As I'm sure you've watched nationally, the unemployment, people filing for unemployment is skyrocketing. In the county, we do have I'll have to get the numbers again, but I want to say there was about, I think it was 2,500 last week that applied. And obviously you can drive down some of our roads here and see most of what, our restaurants, our shops, most of the manufacturers are still up and running. I'm sure you saw in the paper, MFG did some layoffs, and also ACMC is doing some furloughs right now. So that trickle is going to start coming in. Not to mention, we've now pushed back the income tax due date. So cash flow for the next few months, where we've usually had, the bulk of that in, although we were chasing people down after that date. We're concerned with that. And then when it comes to property tax, that date has not been moved. However, I think it's safe to say we can guesstimate there's going to be reductions in that. So we'll stay in touch with the county to see if they have any kind of predictions. Most of all the municipalities, we're trying to figure out what we're going to, how it looks with a reduction in the budget. We spent most of the week getting in contact with our state and federal level leaders, begging them to, in all of these bills that are coming out, put some money in here for local governments. If you see all this information flowing out there from the president and from certain congressional leaders that, we have all this money for municipal governments and locals and tribal groups. You have to have a 500,000 population in order to qualify. So in the state of Ohio, that is Columbus. No other area has a population of that size. So we're hoping that there was some things announced yesterday. I don't think they've actually passed. But we're watching those to see if there's any other funds that are going to flow that way. Bureau of Workers' Comp is doing some of the payments back to some of the overpayments and things like that, trying to speed that up a little bit to help cushion the budget. However, those are items that should go back into the BWC account. They are funds that have been paid out of the general account, so it is acceptable to move those around if need be, as long as we still have a healthy balance in the BWC account. It is it's an extremely difficult time right now when, obviously we had a very, very short window to react when everything was happening, and, shame on me for taking some of our leaders' words for it when they said the money would be available to help with our budgets for the losses. We're just not seeing it to this point. And to this point, we've tried to do everything to keep our staff healthy, to keep them protected, to try to follow as best we could the stay-at-home orders. And I think we've done that successfully. But now, as this continues, and at this point, there's really no end in sight. Although, numbers and different things are looking better, We still don't know when this is all going to be lifted. Obviously, we can't just flip a switch and go right back to normal. Things, as the governor indicated yesterday, are going to open slowly to prevent a spike. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough to determine what's going to happen from this date forward.
I think the biggest problem is the unknown.
Right.
Absolutely.
And, you know, obviously we want to be proactive, but to what extent?
So Tracy, are you looking at having to cut the budget another 3.8 million, or what's your number?
Well, I've only looked at the 20, you know, I'm looking strictly right now at the general fund. And, you know, and you know, looking at the revenue side, I mean, that's what you base your expenses on. So, and decreasing the lines that we know are going to be, you know, we're going to have a decrease of some amount. We just don't know, you know, just taking into consideration the 20%. That's how I come up with the $1.75 million. That's, you know, the original budget, and 20% of that, reducing it, and then you use that number to decrease the expense side.
So roughly, you have to come up with 1.5 minus the $200,000 you
Right.
came up with. You've got to come up with 1.5.
Yes. And the
Well,
only
remember,
places
if
to
those
do
are the-
that are in salaries and wages in the general fund.
And keep in mind, if that's the number we shoot for, that leaves zero carryover for next year, and we can't do that.
Right. And how low does that bring our employee, you know, our staff? And also, if you do think about layout, if you go that route, we still have to fund the unemployment.
Right.
So
Right.
the money's still going out. That's why I can't quite figure out how.
Right.
What do you mean you have to still fund the unemployment? How does that work?
Because we were self-funded, and Carolyn, Carolyn is a lot more versed in the unemployment, because that's what she, you know, she's the human resource side of it,
Sure.
besides being the assistant. But she, you know, I had her pull a lot of facts from what's going on right now and how it's going to affect the unemployment, because we have to make sure that people would be paid more on unemployment now versus what it used to be. So Carolyn, you want to go ahead and explain?
Well, we're self-funded when it comes to unemployment insurance. So we don't pay a fixed premium. We only pay when there are claims.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's why 100%, whatever is awarded as a benefit from employment, the city is going to pay for it.
So whether they're working or not, you're paying their full salary when they're unemployed?
No, it's 50%. And then the government's working on this stimulus package, which would be an additional $600 per week, which isn't effective yet, but it will be retroactive to January 27th. So it's 50% of their wage plus $600 a week. It does eliminate health insurance. That's what you're looking at.
So the 600 though isn't coming from us. That's coming from the federal government.
Yes. No.
So with unemployment, you would be cutting the wages by 50% and eliminating healthcare, the benefits.
Correct.
in healthcare and blah, blah, blah. Am I right on that?
You are correct on that.
Okay.
So life insurance, health
I just
insurance,
want to make sure I understand everything.
yeah, pension. It's just, a layoff is kind of like a temporary termination of employment
Right,
with callback rates. Yeah.
right. I just want to make sure I understand. So if I ask stupid questions, I apologize.
No, I didn't know that either. I wasn't aware of that either.
And so furlough, that just means, hey, you get a week off without pay, but you still get health insurance, you're still an employee, you still get your pension.
Correct.
Okay. I don't have a solution.
And I guess the only way to, I mean, I'd have to have, I need to sit and, I have to run the numbers on that to determine.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all hypothetical things, but I'd have to put it in reality, and that's on, on a spreadsheet.
No, I have nothing to offer up. I mean, I'm in this same horrible situation as everyone else, wondering where's the magic pot of gold to make it all, grease the wheel and make it all work. I don't think there is. I think that we've got to make tough decisions. We've got to learn to live on less, and life just is challenging.
Yeah. The only thing I can offer is I was here when the last horrible thing like this happened in 1987, and I just remember what they did. They told every department, how many people had to go, and I know I don't remember how it happened with the union side, but every department had to take so many people, and they had to go, and that was it. And there were a lot of us that went. I don't remember 50 or 60 of us from the city that had to go, and I was only off for 6 months. So, but there was a slew of us that had to go at that time.
I wonder, I mean, when and if the federal, allegedly it's supposed to be coming soon, the 600 per week. I wonder if there are any people that would voluntarily be laid off.
So that is a possibility. I think the biggest thing that I'm struggling with morally is
Healthcare.
we've been told here you guys are going to see some relief from all this because it's so unexpected. You've got money flying to a whole bunch of different businesses and different places right now. Again, forgetting about Main Street and giving us a lot of lip service to this point. But more than that, you guys got to also remember if layoffs are where we have to go, you are now sending people home to go on unemployment, fight that system, and in pandemic, taking away health insurance.
Yeah.
No, trust me, I understand this. I'm faced with the same thing with employees. I mean, they get health insurance, and I would love to lay them off with the benefit of health insurance, but I don't have the money to do that. I have bills that are here and not enough money to pay the bills. I get it. I really, truly, personally get it.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing to keep in mind when you look back in history and when the city has gone through this before and all that fun stuff, you had an abundance of employees.
Mm-hmm.
We, in 2011, 2012, when I came in and we were facing a $2 million deficit, we were able to come up with the retirement program, and we were able to cut about that off of the budget while still making that payment on the loan that we got. But we never replaced any of those people. So you know, when we talk to the department heads and we sit around and go, okay, what can we, you know, if this actually has to happen, what's it look like? You can't, I mean, you look at Tracy's office, which is a skeleton crew. You guys know over in planning and community development, we keep talking about how we're going to hire more inspectors. My office has 2 people. We're at staffing levels in both the fire department and police department that not cutting up, you know, where cutting a person creates more overtime than actually keep that person with the mannings that we have to have in both of those departments. Water pollution, there's nobody that can not be there. We actually are understaffed down there. Of course, that is not in the general fund, but you're probably going to be looking at people that can't afford to pay their sewer bills right now.
Yeah.
Sanitation's the same way, you know, we
Right.
run a short crew there. So you got me.
Yeah.
Can I chat for a second? Can I say something?
Yeah.
This is Sean, the fire chief.
I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Okay, well, at any rate, yeah, I mean, it is the monkey in the room, but, you know, I know that council was not too eager to listen to the Aqua deal here shortly, or not that long ago. But I'd say things have changed dramatically, and you know, is there any option of you guys reconsidering and sitting down at the table and at least hearing what they have to say?
You're asking the council members, Sean?
Yeah, because no, there's the council members that said no, they wouldn't talk to him. So I'm asking. I mean, we are in deep trouble, and I mean, it would be worth hearing what they got to say.
I mean, I've always been open to that.
John?
John, what? John, listen,
I'm not.
listen, I didn't want to come on this call because I knew exactly what this was going to be. And Mr. Gruber, the council did hear what Aqua had to say. The proposal was brought to council. 1 member moved and the other 5 council members didn't move. So council sort of made their decision known. So I'm not really interested in, having this discussion. So at this point, I'm going to exit. So everybody have a good Easter weekend. Have a good Friday and a good Easter weekend. Thank you.
Hi, John.
Okay, Stacy? Stacy? Stacy?
I don't see her name up.
She's
name
up
is-
there. I see her.
Yeah,
There she
sorry.
is.
Do we still have a quorum or are we done?
No, we don't have a quorum.
What, with
Okay.
me, you don't have a quorum?
You're not on the committee, though.
I thought,
That's to me that I'm sorry. This is just that I have a problem with what just happened.
Yeah, I do. I kind of do too.
I mean, we are facing a major problem, and
I
to
know.
just close our minds.
You know what, I'm sorry, but
I
I've
have
been,
a problem with this.
I've been very quiet on this. That was right there, the worst example of leadership I've ever seen in my life. We are facing a pandemic and a fiscal emergency, and the president of council just left a finance meeting. That is unconscionable. We are talking about sending employees home with no health insurance in a pandemic, and the president of council left the meeting.
Basically, just says he doesn't care.
You all should censor him.
I'm sorry.
That is unconscionable.
My apologies.
We have to end the meeting, so you can't discuss this anymore.
I understand.
Okay.
Well, you know what? We are in a fiscal emergency. We have declared a state of emergency. So like everything else, this is going to fall to the city manager to make those decisions. I appreciate all the support.
Jim, anything I can do to help you, just let me know. You're not alone. We're all here to help you.
Trust me, I've been alone on this ride for a long, long time, and I've kept my mouth shut, and I've tried to keep everybody working together. It's not worth it anymore. I've got way too much stuff to do.
We're all behind you. You know that. You know that. You're not standing alone. We're all behind you.
I appreciate those that are behind me, but there is a president of this council that runs this council that has the final say, who just left a finance meeting when we are telling you we are in a crisis.
We are in a crisis.
Right. I was trying to give John
You guys
about
need
5.
to end the meeting. You don't have a quorum to talk about this.
Exactly. I was just trying to see if John would get back on the call, and that's why I was leaving it open, but otherwise, it doesn't look like he's going to get back on. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to shut it down.
Okay, I will, I guess I will just end it. I can't even get a second, so I'm sorry we have to end it this way, but I guess we'll end the meeting.
Okay.
Everyone have a nice Easter.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Bye.
Have a nice morning, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.